Welcome to Help Your Math. Today we're going to look at how to solve a linear equation. If you notice, on each side we have both a constant and a variable. On the left, our constant is 2, our variable is x, and so you can see that we have a negative 5x. On the right, we have a 9x, and we have a minus 6. And in order to solve this linear equation, we need to get x by itself. So in order to do this, our goal is to get the constant on one side and the variable on the other side, ultimately to get x by itself. So in order to do this, let's start with our constants. So actually, I prefer to start with my x's. And you can do this in different ways. Personally, I like to keep my x's positive. So in order to do that here, I would add 5x to both sides. So the idea is that by adding 5x, it gets taken away from the left, because when we add 5x to the left, it's going to disappear. Negative 5x plus 5x is 0. And when we have to do the same thing to both sides to make sure that that equality holds true. So we're going to wind up with a positive 14x on the right. So let's do that. So we add 5x on the left. To make sure that the equality holds true, we're going to add 5x on the right as well. Negative 5x plus 5x simply goes away because negative 5x plus 5x is 0. So on the left, we just have a 2. And on the right, 9x plus 5x is 14x. And we still have the minus 6 over there. So because we moved our variable to the right, we want to move this constant over to the left. So in order to move it to the left, we have to add 6. So again, we're using an inverse property here so that this negative 6 goes away. When we add 6 to a negative 6, we wind up with a 0. And again, to preserve equality, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. If we add 6 to both sides, we're not actually changing anything about this equation. So the negative 6 and the 6 get canceled on the right. 2 plus 6 is 8. So we are left with 8 is equal to 14x. And now we want to get x by itself. So once again, we're going to use an inverse property. This 14 is being multiplied by x. So in order to get rid of it, we can divide both sides by 14. Division is the inverse of multiplication. 14 over 14 just becomes 1. So what we have here is 8 over 14. 8 over 14 is equal to x. I personally just like my x's on the left, so I'm going to write it as x is equal to 8 over 14. That's because these 14s cancel out to a 1. Now we're not quite done yet because this fraction can be reduced because 8 and 14 have a factor in common. These are both even numbers, which means that they're both divisible by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. So 4 over 7 is the same thing as 8 over 14, because if we multiply 4 over 7 by 2 over 2, you get 8 over 14, and 2 over 2 is really just 1. So anything times 1 is itself. That's the identity property. So 4 over 7 is our answer. You should always write your fractions in simplest form.